Hi everyone, this is the 129th video of the ACT Math Practice Problem series, and here we have a nice problem from the concept of equation solving. As I always recommend, before seeing the solution, you can pause the video and give it a try yourself, and after that of course you want to match with my solution. So let's get started. Here the question says, for the equation x minus square root of 10 minus 3 times x equals 0, that's an equation, which of the following statements is true? So we have to pick the true statement out of the 5 given options, right? So essentially this is like solving an equation. So let's first write down the equation, which is x minus square root of 10 minus 3 times x, and all of that is equal to 0. And from here, can we say, well, then let's keep x on the left hand side and let's bring the other quantity to the right hand side. So that would be x equals square root of 10 minus 3 times x. And if we square both sides, then it would be x squared on the left hand side is equal to 10 minus 3 times x. And now if we bring everything to the left hand side, that would be x squared plus 3 times x minus 10 is equal to 0. And from here, if we use the quadratic formula, what would be the value of x? Well, then x would be equal to negative b, which is 3. So negative 3, b is actually 3 in this case. So negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4 times ac. So what is b squared? B squared will be 3 squared minus 4 times a is positive 1 and c is negative 10, and whole divided by 2 times a, that would be 2 times positive 1. So this is nothing but negative 3 plus or minus square root of 9 plus 40 divided by 2. So this is equal to negative 3 plus or minus square root of 49 whole divided by 2, that is equal to negative 3 plus or minus square root of 49 can be written as 7 divided by 2. So from here we can say, well, then the one value, let's say x sub 1, that is one of the solutions, would be negative 3 plus 7 over 2, and that would be equal to 4 over 2, that is equal to 2. That is one of the solutions. And the second solution, if we write it here, x sub 2, that would be equal to negative 3 and negative 7 over 2, that is equal to negative 10 over 2, that is equal to negative 5. Now, because we got two values, we should not pick our answer in a hurry, because we have done squaring on both sides of the equation. That means there could be some extraneous solutions. So we have to check each of the solutions in the original equation to make sure that yes, they are going to satisfy the equation. So now we are going to try these values of x. One of them is the positive 2, that is a value, and the other one is a negative 5. So we need to try both of them and see if they both satisfy the equation or if just one of them is satisfying the equation, right? So now what is our equation? Well, our equation is x minus square root of 10 minus 3 times x, that is equal to 0. This is our original equation. So now let's use the value of 2. So if we use the value of 2, that would be, the left hand side would be 2 minus square root of 10 minus 3 times 2, that is 6, 10 minus 6. So that is actually 2 minus square root of 4. So that is actually 2 minus 2, which is equal to 0. So that satisfies the equation, right? So 2 is satisfying the equation. How about a negative 5? Well, if we try the negative 5, then in our left hand side, it will be negative 5 minus square root of 10 minus 3 times negative 5, and that will be equal to negative 5 minus square root of 10 plus 15, and that will be equal to negative 5 minus square root of 25, and this is equal to negative 5 minus 5, that is equal to negative 10. So this does not satisfy the equation, because on the right hand side of the equation we have a 0, right? Right hand side of the equation we have a 0. But here on the left hand side we are getting a negative 10. So this particular value, which is the negative 5, this particular value for x is not going to satisfy this equation. So we have to discard this particular value. So I am going to put a cross mark right here that this value must be discarded, but the positive 2 value will work. So essentially this equation has only one solution, which is the positive 2. So now let's take a look at our answer options. So in our answer options, we see that x equals 2, that is under option C. So option C should be the correct option. as soon as we found -5 and +2, if we selected option A in a hurry, that would have been a big mistake. Anytime you do a squaring of both sides of an equation, you know that there is a chance that we could introduce some extraneous solutions which may not satisfy the original equation. So in this case, we can clearly see that the -5 was an extraneous solution that we introduced as soon as we did the squaring of that equation, right? So we have to always check the values of x that we find after solving the equation, and we have to try the value with the original equation to make sure that yes, the value is working out. If it does not work, if it does not satisfy the original equation, then that value must be discarded. I hope everything made sense. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.